A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
There we go. Let's see if that's better. Can you guys hear me on YouTube now? I don't know why it was not working over there either. It does that. It's so weird. Thank you for the confetti, Mel. I appreciate you. Thank you for the gifts. There we go. I hope, if y'all are watching on YouTube, I hope y'all came over to TikTok to hear what I just said, because I'm not going to repeat it, but I'll make sure I clip that out once I edit this video after it's done and over with, or after this live stream is over with. So just in a nutshell, guys, if you're joining in here, we're going to talk about severe weather today. We got significant severe weather. I would even say today is going to be a significant severe weather outbreak. We've got the threat for strong EF2 plus tornadoes down in Texas today. Very, very large hail, damaging winds over 75 miles per hour. And that'll go into tomorrow, and it'll go into Saturday, and it'll go into Sunday. So we got a 4-day stretch of significant severe weather here. And on your screen, we're just going to kind of talk about what we got going on right now. We do have what was the potential to be our first tropical system of the year. It did not do that as expected. There was only a 10% chance of a system developing and becoming a named storm down there. We're just getting a lot of rain down in the Carolinas along the beaches. It's gross. It's probably cloudy. It's rainy. It's thunderstormy. The rip currents are probably not the best. If you're down in the southeast, you probably aren't liking the weather. It probably sucks. It feels very tropically for the month of June here, and so that's going to be as expected with those systems that we get early in the year. The biggest updates to our risk change from my video this morning was they added a slight risk up here to Pennsylvania and New York, and then we did extend, and I'm pretty sure I spot on called this on my video today. You guys can go back and watch that and double check, but I'm pretty sure I mentioned the enhanced risk expanding to the east, getting closer to OKC, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned a 10% hatch tornado risk upgrade back into Texas, and it did happen, so we'll talk about that here in just a second, but I'm pretty sure I was spot on with that. I don't know what it is, but maybe I should just work for SPC or something one day. I don't know. Probably never going to happen. But anyways, yeah, we got a 10% hatched tornado risk, a significant wind threat. So all hazards today are significantly hatched. God bless America. I'm going to choke up on myself today here. But currently right now we got showers and storms. We got a couple storms ongoing here in western Oklahoma, already severe. We'll get to that here in a second. A couple clusters of showers and storms up here. These are going to be non-severe up into the high plains. Let me go over to SPC. We'll get to those severe thunderstorm warnings here.
New information.
Actually,
this severe thunderstorm
let's go ahead and
warning
get
has
to it
been
real quick
updated.
now, because this thing is going to yell at me all day. Let's switch over here. I guess I'm going to have to do a little bit of weather coverage on this stream. Why not, right? I was originally going to do a game stream today, guys. Not weather coverage, but the weather had other plans. So, that did not get to happen today. Hopefully, at one point, we'll get to get one in. All right, what's going on here? All right, so WSV3 does not want to work today. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Radar Omega because it doesn't want to update. It doesn't want to work. We just got our new day 2 outlook, and I'm pretty sure it updated too. All right, here we go. Radar Omega, let's use you. This is going to be a little bit better today in terms of what we're going to use. We do got a severe thunderstorm warning here along the Texas-Oklahoma line. This is specifically for half-dollar size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. I'm not too concerned about this right now. If you're in this area here, there will be a couple supercells kind of training. This is kind of like the beginning of what we're going to see later on this afternoon here. I expect a significant severe weather outbreak to unfold today across Texas, Oklahoma, southern Kansas. If you're in those areas, guys, please, please, please be weather aware today. We've got a double enhanced risk, a slight risk, and a marginal risk with a slight risk that extends all the way up here into the northeast. We've got Pennsylvania now and New York into this risk zone for today. So kind of a weird risk zone. We've got kind of two different areas here. That is new. I'll get to that here in a second. I did not notice that. Just a lot going on. A very, very big risk zone today that I'm not going to be able to cover until 9 o'clock tonight. I'm very, very much upset that the weather decided to do this today because this is a lot of people at this today. Another thing that I just noticed is we now have two tropical systems to watch. Now, they added another one here on the 11 o'clock update, I'm guessing. This one's been here. We got an 80% chance of a tropical storm developing down here in the Pacific Ocean. This will probably end up going out to sea. And then we've got a new one that just developed beside it. Now a 10% chance, I believe, of development. No, 30% chance. So 30 and 80% here. So we're going to get our B-name storm and our C-name storm before the Atlantic Ocean decides to produce something this year, which is typically normal. We typically see the Pacific Ocean stay very, very active very, very early, and it'll go throughout the whole season. So we'll kind of we'll be watching that for you guys that are down in like Baja California, down in Mexico. So we'll watch that storm. Ping pong ball size hail back down here just east of Pampa. This is going to be headed into Raiden, Oklahoma. If you're in this area, just be mindful. But other than that, nothing too crazy going on right now. I want to get this update out to you guys now. Like I said, I'm not going to be on here doing weather coverage until way later on tonight. I've got a 5K I'm running this afternoon. I decided to do that on my birthday. Why the hell not? And then I've also got we're going out to dinner this afternoon. So we did just get our mesoscale discussion for tornado watch likely. And this is wow. This is a huge tornado watch. This is very significant. Severe risk will increase to the afternoon. Supercells capable of producing tornadoes, possibly strong. That's EF2 plus potential. Look at the hail, guys, that's concentrated. They are forecasting grapefruit size hail for West Texas today. No, it's normal in this area. Clovis, New Mexico, Plainview, Texas, Matador, Lubbock, all the way down towards Snyder, Hobbs. If you're in this area here, gigantic hail expected for you guys later on this afternoon. We've also got the threat for strong EF2 plus tornadoes. Those are your big-time wedge tornadoes that cause a lot of bad things to happen. We've also got the threat for 65 to 80 mile an hour destructive winds as well in this portion of Texas. This is just the mesoscale discussion that got issued here. I'm just going to kind of read this here for just a minute. Oh, wow. This is not something you want to hear either. Our SRH values are through the roof. 300 plus meters squared per second squared. Those are very, very high tornado vortex signature numbers. 3-inch plus diameter hail expected as typical in Texas, but I don't like seeing those SRH values, especially if you're in West Texas. Not a good sign for tornado genesis this afternoon and later on this evening here. So we're gonna have to watch that. I don't like that. Is Ashley, are you in stream? I don't know if she's in stream or not. If she's in stream, I don't know if she got the mesoscale discussion posted or not. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it very, very, very much. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. Let's get to our risk zone here for today. Like I said, the way these risk zones work, for anybody that does not know, it goes level 1 to level 5. Marginal risk is that dark green shaded color. That's a level 1 risk out of 5. Level 2 risk in the yellow. Level 3 risk in the orange. And I think this is, I agree pretty well with what the SPC has today. I do want to talk for just a minute. The tornado risk for today is going to be a decent one. We have a huge 2% tornado risk. This basically goes from eastern Colorado back down here into West Texas, Central Texas, back into Oklahoma. Guys, if you're in Oklahoma, I am so sorry. The whole entire state has a tornado risk today. This goes from this afternoon well into the overnight hours. We're going to see tornadoes probably throughout the overnight hours tonight, especially up here near the Tulsa area. I'm getting a little bit more concerned about an overnight tornado event, damaging wind threat, and large hail event tonight. You guys in Oklahoma have just been getting pummeled the last couple of days here, especially with it being, you know, tornadoes, heavy rain, damaging winds, or hail. It's just been this day to day to day to day. And this is actually, guys, believe it or not, this is our first 10% hatch tornado risk in many weeks. We have not had an elevated tornado risk in quite some time. So if you are in Lubbock, Texas, you guys have the threat for strong EF2 plus tornadoes today. Outside of that 10% hatch tornado risk, we've got a 5% and a 2%. This is within a 25-mile radius of a given location. So every time you drive or walk 25 miles, hopefully nobody's walking 25 miles, but every time you guys go 25 miles, there's a 2, 5, or 10% chance of there being a tornado in that radius. That's kind of what that means. The areas that are in that strong tornado risk today, Lubbock, Plainview, Texas, Levelland, and Brownfield are some of the areas. And then we've got Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, Norman, Amarillo, Clovis, Hobbs, Garden City, Kansas, some of the areas that we're seeing today
severe
for the threat for...
has been issued.
I need that thing to shut up for a minute. That's where we'll see the... threat for significant tornadoes. So you guys need to have a way to get alerts on your phones today. NOAA weather radios, whatever you use to keep yourself safe. Like I said, guys, I'm not going to be on doing weather coverage until after 9 o'clock tonight. We are going to be out. It's my birthday. Weather just times itself awfully to where I can't cover sometimes. So Connor will probably be on at some point. Connor's Climate Corner. If you guys haven't followed him, make sure you guys follow him. He'll probably be on at some point later on this evening. But I will not be on until overnight tonight to do overnight coverage. So, this sucks. It's just how it is. So that's not the only threat we've got today, guys. The wind threat is also going to be a big issue. We have a huge 5% wind threat that basically extends from the plains all the way back up here into the northeast. The good news is this is very isolated 5% wind threat, so the odds of somebody seeing 60-mile-per-hour winds in the 5% are going to be pretty small, clearly. We do have now an elevated 15% wind threat up here into New York and into Pennsylvania. This is for winds up to 60 to 70 miles per hour. Pittsburgh, you're just on that line there, so Ashley, you're welcome. That's for you. We do have a 15% and 30% risk zones now for wind. There's a chance we could see a 30% chance of seeing winds exceed 75 miles per hour. Lubbock, Midland, Abilene, you're in that. And then Oklahoma City, back up into southern Kansas and northern Texas and western Oklahoma here. You guys can see also later on tonight, damaging winds exceed 75 miles per hour. So the wind threat's going to be a significant issue today. The tornado threat's going to be an issue. And on top of that, we have a very, very large hail threat today. Pretty much the whole entire slight risk and enhanced risk zones are hatched for hail that could exceed 3 inches in diameter. So this is the first time, guys, we've had one day where we've got all of our risk zones or all of our categories hatched. So strong EF2 plus tornadoes expected in West Texas. I honestly wouldn't even rule it out in western Oklahoma today. I'll talk about why that's going to be here in just a second. We've got some of the parameters, some of the outflow boundaries that could be kind of intertwined with that here. So, you know, I always like to go off what SPC says, but then I like to give my input because sometimes SPC is not always, you know, the best. There might be something that they miss or something that I notice, and I just kind of like to give my opinion on it. So, but they are the paid professionals. They get paid for this. I don't, so it's fine. So y'all know how that works if you guys have watched before. So those are risk zones for today. I'll get into the timing here in just a minute. I do want to walk through the rest of our risk zones for the next 3 days. We do, once again, have another risk zone for tomorrow, and this does look like a fish. I don't know why it does, but it does. Tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, guys, are going to be completely different days than what we have going on today. Today is basically driven off of supercells on a dry line, and then we'll have a line of storms going through Oklahoma later on tonight after midnight. Tomorrow and Saturday, I want you guys to pay attention here. This is a very tricky and very complex forecast for both the next 3 days here, really going into Sunday. We've typically get, this time of the year during the summertime, if you guys have been watching my videos, I've been talking about this, we get what's called zonal flow. Basically, our wind shear, our jet stream goes from the west to goes to east, to kind of in a straight linear line, or coming out of the northwest to southeast. What that does is it promotes derecho material. If anybody does not know what a derecho is, it's a long line of storms that that produces a windbag event. It does very destructive damage wherever it happens at. And you know, this is not saying we're going to get a derecho. What I'm getting at is this is an environment that will be favorable for derecho-like setups. And so we aren't really going to know what that is until we get to the day of. So when models start to kick out tonight, when we're on stream talking about things, I'll talk about that tonight. But this event, specifically tomorrow, we're going to have storms that are going to be ongoing back down here into the morning hours tomorrow morning around Oklahoma into West Arkansas. Whatever forms up in northern Oklahoma tonight will work its way through the state of Oklahoma tonight through the overnight hours. By sunrise tomorrow, we should have a pretty decent little line of storms moving its way into Arkansas. And what's going to happen is we are going to have lots of instability out in this area, especially in the lower Ohio Valley, the lower Tennessee Valley tomorrow. I do still think 2 enhanced risks could be placed tomorrow. I think an enhanced risk could get issued in here tomorrow, and I think an enhanced risk could get issued somewhere in here tomorrow. We'll have to see what happens with that, what SPC does with that tomorrow. But 2 areas that I'm watching tomorrow for damaging winds. This is not going to be a big tornado day tomorrow. We probably will get a 5% tornado risk added tomorrow. I'm not too concerned about the tornado risk. These promote damaging wind events, guys. Damaging winds can do way worse than a tornado can do. I'm sorry if you disagree with me on that, but it's a proven fact that a wall of wind can rip shingles off your house and do a lot more damage widespread-wise than a tornado can. And tornadoes are concentrated over a small area, depending on the size of the tornado. Damaging winds are over a widespread area. They cause more damage when they happen, depending on the amount of wind speeds that are going on inside that wind event. So this is why I take the wind events a little bit more serious in terms of, you know, just severity in terms of widespreadivity. But like I said, tomorrow we have a 2% tornado risk, a huge 2% tornado risk. Basically goes from my backyard, yes, I'm in that, go figure, Western Kentucky, Central Kentucky, back into Tennessee, all the way back here through the plains. I do expect probably a 5% tornado risk gets added somewhere, maybe into the plains and maybe even back up into the lower Ohio Valley here. We'll have to watch this for tomorrow very, very closely. We will be in live coverage mode for tomorrow, guys, so you guys will have me tomorrow through the whole event, unlike today. The wind threat for tomorrow is at 15 and 5%. We also have a small little wind threat up here into Boston, Massachusetts, up into the northeast. And then we do have a hatched hail threat for tomorrow as well. The hail threat going to be more concentrated back along our dry line where supercells and discrete cells initiate at, with hail exceeding 2 inches in diameter. So we'll see what SPDC does tonight. It's all going to be dependent on what happens tomorrow morning as well. I think they mentioned an upgraded enhanced risk. Yep, so here, right here, I'm going to read this to you guys so you guys can kind of understand tomorrow's forecast just a little bit here. It says, the expectation is that isolated to widely scattered supercells will develop over the higher terrain of southeast Colorado, eastern New Mexico, far west Texas, into a moist upslope flow regimen as a strong heating occurs through the afternoon. Stronger Cape values of up to 3,000 joules per kilogram will be confined to the area near the surface low, where stronger low-level moisture will be forced. Elongated straight photographs, those promote damaging winds. You want to see a curved photograph for tornado genesis. Straight photographs are for damaging winds. Above 2 kilometers and steep mid-level lapse rates should suggest the threat for large to very large hail, possibly greater than 2 inches in diameter, in addition to strong gusts. There is some potential convection organized in the southeast, propagating cluster MCSs moving through the southeast Colorado and northeast New Mexico into the northwest Oklahoma over the overnight hours. That's for technically tonight into tomorrow. Then it says higher outlook probabilities could be necessary if confidence in this scenario increases as much and as mesoscale details become much better. So we probably are going to get another level 3 enhanced risk tomorrow for Oklahoma back into Arkansas. This will be the area that I'm watching for tomorrow for a level 3 upgrade for wind, not for tornadoes, for wind. So tomorrow will be a wind-driven risk zone, and I expect 75-plus mile-an-hour winds ripped through this whole entire area tomorrow if that does in fact happen. So we'll be updating you guys on that tomorrow, and then, you know, everywhere elsewhere, an isolated wind threat to scattered wind threat, and then a hail and a tornado threat will be confined as well. We're not done after that, guys. We got another day, and if you look at the risk zone compared to tomorrow and into Saturday, it does not change. It's very much the same. We just shift everything further to the southeast here. We do have a little marginal risk back up here into the high plains for a new system that'll be coming through starting in going into early next week, but we just shift this thing to the east on Saturday. Saturday is going to be a pretty messy day back into the lower Ohio Valley, back down into southern Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, the whole southeast here. I will not be covering Saturday, guys. We have friends and family that are coming into town, so Saturday you guys will be on your own in terms of getting your weather coverage, so you guys can watch. Probably Connor will be able to stream as well, but I will be MIA on Saturday for a majority of the day. Actually, probably all day long. I'll have a video out for you guys Saturday morning, but I will not have coverage for you guys on Saturday. This one also could probably get an enhanced risk. I wouldn't be shocked to see a level 3 enhanced risk be introduced again. It's all going to be dependent on what happens tomorrow, and they probably won't even issue that until the day of gets here. So that'll be on Saturday. All modes of severe weather are possible. And then guess what, guys? Guess what? Does anybody want to take a guess what Sunday looks like? I'm curious. Does anybody want to know what Sunday looks like? Does anybody want to guess where Sunday's severe weather risk zone is going to be at? Because we're not done. Poor Katie. I know, Katie. It's just been crazy. Sunday's risk zone. Guys, look at that. Would you look at that? We're back in the plains again on Sunday. Crazy stuff. We got a slight risk, level 2 risk out of 5 back here along the East Coast, and then another one back into the plains on Sunday, where we get another MCS day. It's a mesoscale convective scale change. Back into the Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico line again. The slight risk along the East Coast on Sunday will be for the leftover remnants of the system that's moving its way through on Saturday. So 2 new areas to watch on Sunday. We'll talk more about both of these days when we get closer to Sunday being here. But guys, we got a long next 4 days here. So I need y'all to buckle up. And even after that, I'm pretty sure SPC is still watching the threat for severe weather going into early next week. Yeah, Monday and Tuesday. I mentioned this in my video today. Monday and Tuesday, we'll probably also have a threat for severe weather as well. But the good news is after Tuesday, we should start to see ridging happen. And what ridging is going to do is it's going to kick this damn severe weather out of here. And we're actually going to start to see things feel like summer for once for a lot of people in the United States. We'll talk about that here in a second as well. So once again, those are our risk zones. We got a brand new mesoscale that also just came out. So this is for western Oklahoma and northern Texas here. Severe thunderstorm watch likely, 95% probability. Watches mean conditions are favorable for severe weather. Warnings means it's typically happening. So if you guys are in Oklahoma, be mindful of that. This will kind of be round 1 here. Let's dive in and talk about what is going to happen today. What are we going to be seeing here? I'm going to go off the latest 16Z triple HR model run here, kind of talk about what's going to be happening with this. Right now it's quiet. Not a lot going on here, but as the evening progresses, we're going to see these supercells kind of explode. This looks to be right around 5 to 6 p.m. In any of these cells, specifically down here, I do expect a couple of strong tornadoes, very photogenic strong tornadoes down here into West Texas. So Lubbock, Midland, you guys down here in Plainview, Hobbs, Clovis, New Mexico, you guys have got to be alert this afternoon. Gigantic hail, 3 inches plus in diameter, strong winds up to 75 miles per hour, and not an EF2 tornado cannot be ruled out today whatsoever. EF2 plus tornado down here into West Texas. So we're going to have to watch this very, very closely tonight. Like I said, you guys will not have me doing weather coverage until after we get back tonight. My birthday could have waited to be on another day. I would have loved this, or the weather could have been on another day. That would have been better. I absolutely hate this. I love to cover these days because we get some really crazy things that happen, and you guys need the coverage, and I can't do that, and it sucks. But it's just fine. Anyways, this is going to drive me crazy today. I'm going to be running my 5K this afternoon. I'm going to be thinking about what the heck's happening in Texas while I'm inhaling hot air and humid air all night long. Love that. Just absolutely love that. So here's around 5 to 6 p.m. Supercells fire off. These storms get really, really intense, guys. Look at these discrete cells. Look at these beans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we could easily have a couple strong tornadoes this evening. Like, that's going to be the main concern. Oh, look, we just got a severe thunderstorm watch for Texas. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What's going to happen this evening is supercells in western Oklahoma and back into southern Kansas are not going to probably initiate until well after 7 to 8 p.m. So we'll have the southern mode going first. The northern mode will get going afterwards. And then what's going to happen is that cold front's going to start to kind of crash eastward a little bit here. And what's going to happen is supercells will fire off. Oklahoma City, you're getting them around 10 to 11 o'clock tonight. We're going to have upscale growth happen. And then we're going to get a big wall of wind that's going to attempt to develop well into the overnight hours tonight. And what's going to happen is we're going to go from discrete supercells to a line of QLCS, and this can promote, QLCS tornadoes. This can promote damaging winds up to 70 plus miles per hour. This can promote large hail. So we're going to have to see how this, in fact, plays out tonight. It's not 100% set in stone, but the threat is there for all modes of significant severe weather. I still wouldn't even rule out, even though SPC does not have a 10% hatch tornado risk up here, I would not rule out the threat for strong tornadoes in western Oklahoma if that can, in fact, get going there. If we take a look at our different ingredients in the atmosphere, instability looks beautiful, beautiful, beautiful amount of instability today. And it even increases going into tomorrow across the lower Ohio Valley there. Looking at our tornado parameters, I want to talk about this, okay? Does anybody in here know what an outflow boundary is? I'm just curious, because I'll explain if I've got a majority of people that don't know. I'm going to probably explain it anyways, but I want to clarify something here. Most people in here know what an outflow boundary is. Okay, so basically what an outflow boundary is when you get storms that come through an area on the morning of a severe weather day. So say like yesterday, we had, not yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Wait, Was it yesterday, babe, or was it the day before? Regardless, either yesterday or the day before. I can't even remember at this point. I think it was yesterday. But regardless of that, when storms lay down or they come through in the morning, you typically can get some wind. They basically set down an invisible, think of like a line here. So let me show an example here. So say, we wake up tomorrow morning and we've got storms that are moving through Oklahoma. Just imagine there being storms in the circle. With the atmosphere, we're trying to, get itself together in the morning, instability increases throughout the day. What these storms do is they lay down what's called a higher dew point concentration. Your dew points are typically a little bit higher because the atmosphere is moist, it just rained, it's gross, all that stuff. What that outflow boundary can do with those higher dew points is it can allow for stronger storms to initiate later in the afternoon. So, if outflow boundaries can get laid down today with these supercells and storms can fire off in front of cells that are laying down outflow boundaries, they can help enhance tornadogenesis with storms either in front of them or storms that are on top of them. And so when we get these mesoscale days, I talk about this a lot, these MCS days, when we get these cells that fire off and they lay down outflow boundaries, you'll hear me say that a lot, especially during the summertime. This is what can make a non-tornado risk day go to a significant tornado risk day within a matter of hours. So that's very, very important in the meteorology world that we figure out where those outflow boundaries are set up at and where they're placed at, because that can either make or break a non-tornado day or a big tornado day happen, regardless of what the risk zone calls for. It's just basic meteorology. So that's something that we have to watch for. And if any storms today can lay down outflow boundaries, we could easily see a couple strong, intense tornadoes today across the state of western Oklahoma and into western and southern Texas today. So something we're going to have to watch. And you guys can see these are the tornado parameters, and the models do pick up a little bit on that. Look at this, guys. This is around 11 p.m. to midnight tonight. Strong tornado parameters in place. So if we have any storms that are ongoing, western Oklahoma, northeast Texas, I'm still, like I said, I would not be shocked to see SPC upgrade to a 10% hatch tor risk in that area in the next update, and that'll start to, lower as the evening progresses as we go into the overnight hours. So we'll have to watch that very, very, very closely in terms of that. I can show you guys tomorrow too. Let me play this out really, really quickly here. We'll get through tonight. There's tomorrow. See, we'll have tomorrow morning. This is what I was talking about. Tomorrow morning around 5 to 6 a.m., we'll have a line of storms already moving through Oklahoma and Arkansas, and if these storms lay down an outflow boundary, we could see an enhanced risk zone upgrade tomorrow for Friday across the same area. So something, like I said, we have to watch for. The good news is you guys are going to have me overnight tonight. I'm going to be doing overnight coverage after 9 p.m. tonight. So for all of my Oklahoma people, my Arkansas people, my Texas people, whatever is still going on, you guys will have me tonight. So we got you guys covered. I'm going to probably be up pretty late tonight anyways. I planned on it. So we haven't done some overnight coverage in quite some time. Tomorrow, though, things get a little bit interesting. So we're going to have a line of storms that's going to be moving into, eastern Missouri, Kentucky, back up into Illinois there that could be producing some damaging winds. I'll get to that here in a second. But you notice tomorrow, most of the day is pretty quiet. And then what's going to happen, once again, dry line kicks up. Instability is there, shear is there, we get isolated supercells. Tomorrow does not look as widespread as today does. We'll see what model trends do through the evening and the overnight hours tonight, kind of go from there and, see what SPC does. But I will say tomorrow does have concern potential once again, a couple strong tornadoes, and this is what I really want to watch for tomorrow. If something like this develops, we get a strong MCS that develops late overnight again tomorrow night into Saturday morning, we could have ourselves a pretty big issue in terms of a significant damaging wind threat on Saturday. So we'll have to keep you guys updated on that, and then that'll easily work its way through the state of Oklahoma and then move into Arkansas on Saturday there. So I want to talk about this as well because this is another big thing that a lot of people do not pay attention to. Let's go to our rainfall totals and see how much rainfall we could see here over the next 48 hours. And guys, this is some significant rainfall. Anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rainfall could fall from west or northeastern Texas Panhandle back here into portions of Oklahoma. So another 48-hour window here of significant heavy rainfall for you guys in Oklahoma and into northeast Texas. So you guys don't need the rain. You guys have definitely recovered from your drought that you had, but seeing this type of rainfall is not something that I want to see personally either. So hopefully we get some storms that do not fire off and do not do anything crazy in terms of that. Let me get up here to the Ohio Valley here just quickly and do a little update for you guys so we can, I don't want to forget about you guys because I'm also in the Ohio Valley. Yes, I know we have severe thunderstorm warnings. Gosh, I know. Stupid freaking overlay. I know. Here's tomorrow. Showers and storms are going to be moving their way through the morning hours. This is what's going to be interesting. I want you guys to see this right here. Prime example of an outflow boundary. Tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock a.m., we got a line of storms moving through Arkansas, at least if this model is correct, moving through Arkansas. There's going to be a lot of wind that's going to be pushed out from this. That is an outflow boundary. Imagine wind coming out of the storm. You get higher dew point concentration. What that's going to do, as soon as this line pushes out that outflow boundary and we get convection to initiate here in eastern Missouri tomorrow evening, we're going to see supercells fire off, and then we're going to get another MCS, and this is going to be something tomorrow. If we get a Boeing little line segment moving through the state of Kentucky around 3, 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, this will be pushing its way eastward, and it should weaken as it approaches east. But then look at that. Watch this, guys. You get one outflow boundary going east, and then another one develops going southeast towards Tennessee. So the weather world is so complex, and like I said, guys, for anybody that just gets mad at meteorologists or anything when they are calling for rain or calling for storms in your area and it doesn't happen, this is why. We cannot predict everything, guys. Models cannot predict everything. Basic meteorology, if there's a day for severe weather and a certain thing sets up or a certain thing doesn't set up, it can make or break a whole entire forecast. So that's what I'm getting at, is this could be a quite interesting next 3 to 4 days here if storms are dependent off of outflow boundaries. We've seen big-time tornadoes in little baby risk zones that don't call for big-time tornadoes based off of basic meteorology. And you won't see TV meteorologists talk about this because they don't get the time to talk about it because they have a small time to talk on TV. And two, they're just not going to. I really don't think I've ever in my 20 years of growing up ever seen a meteorologist on TV talk about an outflow boundary. So that's what I'm here to do. So, just something that's behind the scenes that we have to look at that goes into forecasting. And it makes the forecasting a little bit more complex. So it's just something we're going to watch, and then we go into Sunday, and we'll talk more about Sunday or Saturday and Sunday once those days get a little bit closer. I do want to talk about what we're going to be seeing into the future. Let's talk about that, because we got a lot of things after we get through Sunday here. I want to give you all some happy news, not some bad news. So here's our jet stream right now. You can clearly see where our shear is at. This is where we have severe weather over the next couple of days. Kind of got some wonky little zonal flow in here. You got a strong low pressure system off the East Coast. High pressure dominating down here in the Gulf. So not just, these casual severe weather days that can go up and down. Not any big troughing, not any significant tornado outbreaks or anything. Although today could be a mini regional tornado outbreak if things do go the way they could go. I want you guys to notice something. Do you guys all see the direction of our wind shear? So southwesterly wind shear today. Watch what happens as we go into your Saturday and into really tomorrow and Saturday. We go from southwesterly wind shear to this is what's called zonal. We go from this to this. And what does west to east directional wind shear promote? Damaging winds and large hail and an occasional isolated tornado, but these can promote damaging wind and derecho-like setups. Not saying we're getting a derecho once again, but what I'm getting at is this can promote significant damaging wind events, especially going into tomorrow and into Saturday. So we're going to have to watch that bulk shear, see where that sets up on Saturday. Going into Saturday evening, we'll have a little bit of that shear up here, but it's going to be a little bit, the forcing is going to be a little bit further to the south here. So I think more severe weather, the higher threat will clearly be where SPC has it at. And then I want you guys to notice something. Look on the left side of your screen. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. And what's going to happen is we're going to attempt to start to get our first big ridge developing of the summer. I hope. That would be super nice. What's going to battle with this, though, is this upper level low that's going to be coming down out of Canada. And what this is going to do is it's going to keep a very active pattern across the Midwest and the high plains going into next week, where we'll have probably a couple severe weather days in that catty corner as well. Strong flow out of the southwest, or out of the northwest. Ridging starts to develop, and, really, like I said, going into the second and third week of June, this is still a little bit ways out here, but I want you guys to know, we're going to probably see severe weather a lot through this month, and going into July. We saw this a lot last year. This is a very relatable season to last year going into the summer. These casual little dips in the jet stream, these little days where we get a little bit of shear. It doesn't take a lot of shear, 35 knots of shear in the mid-levels to cause wind and hail threat to happen, and even in sometimes a brief tornado can happen. So, just looking at this and then going into the third week of June here, third week of June. What I do notice, though, and this is what's been trending, and this is what I want to see, is we do start to get a strong high pressure to develop. And what that's going to do is it's going to keep everybody down in this area very nice, very hot. Probably triple digits will start to, happen when you get a heat dome. And then we start to get flow up over top of that ridge. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us severe weather in areas we haven't quite seen in a lot this year. Idaho, Montana, back up into Wyoming, Dakotas, Minnesota maybe. So this is something we're going to have to watch for severe weather going into the second and third week of June. Not set in stone yet, but you guys can start to see the wheels turning here, where we're going to start to see a change in our weather pattern. We're not going to see these big dips in the jet stream, at least as of right now, causing, tornado outbreaks. And typically this is what we see. Now, this would be something right here. This might be our first high plains tornado outbreak, but this is 13 days in advance. Probably not going to happen. We'll see what happens with this. But you can see just the Ohio Valley, the plains dominated by high pressure. I would expect 90s to potentially 100-degree temps somewhere in this corner here. And then we'll have significant severe weather up into the high plains going into the second and third week of the month here. So time will tell. I want you guys to also see something. You remember that little tropical storm or the hurricane that the GFS model has been spitting out for, 10 days now? it's pretty much gone. And you know what that tells me? For all of these lovely people on social media that were saying that there was going to be a major hurricane coming to the Gulf on June 18th. Yes, people were doing that. They look like idiots now, which is fine. No respect for that kind of crap. Sorry. But yeah, it's pretty much gone. The GFS model was the only model that was showing something. It's been trying to show something for the last couple of days now, really for a good week and a half now. The European, the Icon, none of our other models, none of our other ensembles were showing anything. It's pretty much gone. There's a little bit of something still there, but what we were going to get, or at least was trying to show, is no longer there existing. So this is why I tell you guys, when you look at Weather Forecaster, you see people on social media that are posting model runs of major hurricanes on one specific model run, the GFS, well over 15 days out. There's a problem, and if you believe that, you might want to check yourself, because that's not realistic and that's not how weather works. Model runs are known for having errors after 7 days out. We really can never really forecast weather more than 7 days out. So if you're trying to look at a model run that's showing a hurricane 7+ days out, you seriously might want to check on that and make sure yourself's okay. But the GFS is known. It's in fantasy land. And also, guys, I want y'all to understand, with the budget cuts, our National Weather Service budget cuts, the GFS is one of the biggest models that's going to be highly affected. And that's because it's made in America. It's funded by the government. It runs from the National Weather Service offices. So that also makes a lot of sense why it was the only model showing a hurricane at the end of June. So I wanted to elaborate on that just a little bit, let you guys kind of understand. If Mezzo is not concerned about it, don't be concerned about it. You're going to be fine. We're going to keep you guys updated. I promise, the second that there is a tropical storm or hurricane threat toward the United States, I'm going to let you guys know in advance. And it's going to be well in advance before that happens. And it's not going to be driven off of one model run. It's going to be driven off of multiple model runs, and it's help with the ensembles. That's how you forecast hurricanes. That's how you forecast severe weather. That's how you forecast any type of weather, is confidence in model agreement. We talk about that a lot in terms of severe weather forecasting. So do I have any questions, guys, on anything in terms of, risk zones? I'll try to answer some questions here. I'm not going to stay on here super, super, super long. I know severe weather is going to be getting going here pretty quickly. We got a big risk zone, but I have to start getting ready. I have a 5K I'm running in about 4-ish hours, and then we're going to go out to Red Robin for my birthday today, and then we're going to come back around 9 o'clock-ish, and then we're going to do weather coverage tonight with you guys. So I will spend the rest of my evening on here with you guys, covering weather, doing what I love, and spending the last 3 hours of my birthday with you guys. So it's every year. 5 years in a row I've had to do weather coverage on my birthday, and I'm not joking when I say that. It's every single year. Every year. So love that. I appreciate all the birthday wishes. Y'all are freaking awesome. I appreciate the support, guys. Biggest favor to ask for my lovely people on TikTok. If you guys have not subscribed to me over on YouTube, make sure y'all do that. It is free to subscribe. The really cool thing is we just got monetized on YouTube. So we have memberships, we have super chats, we have a lot of really cool perks over there now, as TikTok does have as well. But definitely consider going over there and showing some love. We're really trying to get that page up and going. Also, guys, I want to mention this now. For everybody that's exhausted and tired of hearing about this, if you do not know, there is still a TikTok ban in place on June 19th. This app is set to go dark again on June 19th. I still have been keeping up with it. Yes, there may be another extension. Let's hope that there is, but I'm about sick of this crap every single 2 months of this happening. Yes, TikTok is expected to go dark again on June 19th. That is the deadline for the deal thing or whatever that's still going on. So if you guys want to keep up with me, definitely go subscribe to YouTube, because that's where we'll be if something actually does happen, because there probably will be severe weather happening. So if you don't like me, you don't have to. It is what it is. I hope most people do, but can't please everybody. Sometimes I just can't. It happens. So let me get some questions answered, and then I'll kind of wrap things up here with you guys, and you guys will see me back here again later on tonight. I will go back here for just a second. Actually, let me see. Did our European model do anything update-wise? I'm going to double check on this, because I have not paid much attention to this. Well, this is definitely different than the GFS, and this is why we don't know what's going to happen going into the third week of June. The European model has a strong ridge down here, but northwesterly flow, and this would promote big days of severe weather going into the third week of June. This is why you can't predict severe weather 7 days out, guys. 7 days might be adjustable, but 10 days out, you can't predict severe weather. You can't predict hurricanes. You can't predict anything. You got the GFS model showing a ridge on the 15th and beyond. You've got the European model showing severe weather moving back into the Ohio Valley on the 15th and beyond. So that's why weather is complicated. Yes, guys, I stream on both platforms. at the same time every time we go live. I'm live on both, and honestly, you'll be able to see your questions a lot better. I'll be able to see your stuff a lot better too. So we'll kind of go from there. Southwestern Kansas today, I'm pretty concerned. I think a strong tornado risk is also going to be possible. And then we're also going to have the threat for damaging winds and large hail. So we'll see what happens there. Hold on one second, y'all. Okay. Yeah, it's the same name, guys. It's just Mesomat over there. I'm Mesomat on everything. Babe, do we have birthday merch out? Is it out on the website? Okay. Guy, is it just for today, babe? I'm assuming. I want to make sure. I hear her and they're moving on the couch, so I'm assuming so. She's going to be uploading the birthday merch a week. Okay, yeah, guys. So if y'all don't know, today's my birthday. Rochelle has made custom birthday merch. This will be on our merch website here. It will be on here for a week. So if you want to buy a limited edition Mesomat merch, I'll have it pop up here in a second once Ro gets it put on there. But if you would like to do that, you guys can. If you guys have not checked the merch out, definitely go check the merch out. There's some really freaking cool stuff on here. Rochelle has worked her butt off getting stuff put on here. So lots of stickers, lots of t-shirts, lots of hoodies. We have tumblers. We have so much stuff. Phone cases, guys. There's just amazing, amazing stuff. I haven't even seen this one yet. I love this. Yeah, Rochelle came up with this one. This one's awesome. It says, I prepare for hurricanes like I do for Mondays, poorly. I love this. Everybody that lives in a hurricane area has to have this shirt. Justin, I appreciate you, bud. I appreciate you the love and the support over there. I appreciate it.
Has been issued.
Yep, so once Ro gets this pulled back up, I'll have this up. But yeah, definitely go check this stuff out, guys. She works her butt off doing that. I've got to get my stuff ordered too tomorrow when I get back, or whenever I get a chance. We have the hail shirts and stickers. We have Ohio shirts. We have so much good stuff. We got the beans. We got a lot of stuff on here, guys. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. Like, she works her butt up on this stuff. So. Let me go back to the planes here. Let's see if we can get an update on this new run. Yeah, this is not good. I don't like seeing this. I'm not a fan of West Texas. Like, these supercells just stack. They just stack up. I'm not a fan of that. So, yeah, this looks great. We love that. Once Ro gets me the go-ahead and she's got that up there, I'll show you guys, and then I'm going to wrap stream up here and hang out for a little bit. So, on a day where we don't have severe weather, guys, I'm going to get on here and we're going to do some gaming. So, I want to do a live stream where I, have game stream with you guys. If y'all play, Fortnite or Call of Duty or any of that stuff, we're going to get on here and do that eventually at some point, too, when we don't have a weather day. I want to do it. I miss doing it. I try not to do just all weather. Yes, I'm full-time weather, but on days where we don't have severe weather, I like to get on here and do something fun for a little bit. So if I've got any gamers in chat, and I'm going to do a game stream or something like that one day, or we can have you guys come up and play or something like that. Yay! Yeah, Casey, we can do that. I would be down. I'd be so down. All right, let's see here. I bet it's on the first page. Yay, there it is. Oh, wait, that's not it. That's the wrong one. Yay, there it is. Y'all go get you a limited edition Mesomat birthday shirt. It's only going to be on the shop for a week. Natalie, I told you to apply to the team. I told you to do that. I told you yesterday to do that. You're in here every day. You watch 24/7.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning.
Go message Rochelle. Go message Ro. Oh, shit. Damn it. Can't play basketball either very well. I appreciate the birthday wishes, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Natalie, just go message Ro. Just go message her. Just be like, I want to join. So go get the birthday shirt, guys. There's that, and there's also a sticker. All of this is on my website, mesomatwx.com. You go to the merch tab. It is all on here. Really freaking good stuff, and Ro has made it all. We got tumblers, hats, t-shirts, hoodies. I mean, phone cases. Like, it is endless, guys. And we have a lovely limited edition hurricane shirt that says, I prepare for hurricanes like I do for Mondays poorly. I love it. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for all the love, all the birthday gifts, wishes. I appreciate it. Like I said, I will be back on here probably around 9:30 Central Time tonight. I've got a 5K to run on my birthday. Everybody asks, why are you doing that? It's your birthday. Because I'm a runner and I like to run. And what's better than running 3.1 miles on your birthday in the middle of the hot, humid summer? And then we're going to go to Red Robin and eat dinner after. So that's our plans, and then I should be back around 9:30. Once we get the kids into bed, I'll hop on, and we'll be on here, and we're going to do some overnight coverage for you guys. So what is Mesomat's birthday without doing a little bit of weather coverage? Like, legit. Oh, is there a back on it, babe?
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Let me go back to it here. Is there a back on it? Where is the back on it? How do I do this? Does it... Wait, hold on. Oh, on the other one. On the other one. Okay. Hold on. Is it on here? Hold on a minute. Where do I go to find the back of it? I'm confused, Ro. I am confuzzled. Scroll to bottom. Oh, there it is. So this is what's on the back of the shirt. I love this. I absolutely love this. Didn't evacuate, lost Wi-Fi, ate all the hurricane snacks early, watched Mesomat for 72 hours. I love this. This is absolutely so true. And there's so many viewers that watch me occasionally during hurricane season that I know this literally goes to. Some of them are on my team, which is even crazier. Lainey's one of them, if she's in here.
A new severe
I love this.
Thunderstorm warning has been issued.
So, guys, Spider, my lovely significant other, she makes all this stuff. So if you guys like this stuff, go get you some Mesomat merch. That's what it's here for. It is awesome. It is freaking awesome. This is Lainey. We have a girl on our weather team that lives in Louisiana. This is her in a nutshell right now. Love it. Absolutely awesome. So go check that out, guys. Mesomat birthday shirt will be in there. The sticker will be in there until next Thursday. And then the hurricane stuff is out now as well. Super freaking excited about that. This is going to be a big day today. I don't like the way this is looking. So, yeah. Go, if you guys are interested and you want to be on the weather team, go message Rochelle, my lovely significant other, Spider. She'll be getting with you guys. Natalie, I'm assuming Ro will get with you here soon. Babe, we could probably go ahead and do Natalie's if you really wanted to. I actually already have her contact and everything. I've already talked to her a couple times. If you want to, if she's free and you want to do hers, we can do it now. Up to you. Kendall. I got to get used to the last name, guys. Big W's for my cousin Kendall in the chat. She just got married, like literally like a couple days ago. And she's currently in another country right now. I got to get used to the last name. It's driving me crazy. It drives me crazy. So, super exciting. Super exciting. So, Alrighty, guys. Y'all go message Spider there, the pinned comment in the chat. I'm going to wrap it up here. I am going to start getting myself ready so I can go run and just chill for a little bit. And then I will see you guys back in here later on tonight. Be safe if you guys are be safe if you guys are in risk zones tonight. It's a pretty big area. I expect strong tornadoes, damaging winds, very, very large hail today. So if for some reason, guys, if any of y'all go back and like check the comments on my video today, for anybody that does that, for y'all that watch the stream, if they ask why I'm not live, please let them know that I will be back. I will be back later on tonight. So I might actually just make a video and post it. So yeah, let me just do that. I'll just make a video and post it. So other than that, guys, I love y'all. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for the gifts, the taps, the follows. I appreciate it. I will see you guys back in here later on tonight. Be safe. Don't get hit by a tornado. Don't get destroyed by hail. Don't get sucked up by wind. And we'll see you guys back in here. Goodbye.